Here are today's top stories. Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson of the Presidential Communications Operations Office resigns from her post while Malacanang extends its gratitude for support to the Duterte administration. Malacanang is confident the joint exploration deal with China will solve the country's problem with rising oil prices. 6 cabinet members in the Duterte administration are reportedly planning to run in the 2019 elections. And the DNR looks into the proposed temporary closure of Mararison Island in Culasi, Antique. Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson of the Presidential Communications Operations Office tendered her resignation on Wednesday as confirmed by Special Assistant to the President Christopher Bongo. Go said that President Rodrigo Duterte has accepted Uson's resignation and that the President extended his gratitude for Uson's support of his administration and described Uson as a good ally. Uson announced her resignation during a Senate hearing, stressing that the Congress was purposely delaying deliberations on the budget of the Presidential Communications Operations Office because of her. For his part, PCOO Secretary Martin Andonar said that the department is currently discussing Uson's possible replacement. For the moment, Andonar said they have yet to determine who will fill Uson's vacant post. Foreign Affairs DFA Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano on Wednesday dismissed a mere anti-Duterte propaganda, a documentary by the British Broadcasting Corporation, or BBC, that described the outlook of democracy in the Philippines as bleak. In a statement, Cayetano expressed its dismay on BBC's September 29 feature, Our World Philippines, Democracy in Danger, which focused on President Rodrigo Duterte's anti-drug campaign and alleged political persecution in the country. Cayetano brands the episode as misleading, pointing out that Duterte's anti-illegal drug strategy is actually making Philippine society safer, healthier, and more prosperous. Cayetano also said the episode makes little mention of the sheer magnitude of the drug problem in the Philippines, the enormous damage to millions of families caused by addiction, and the fact that police are under strict orders to follow the law in the conduct of the campaign against illegal drugs. The DFA chief pointed out that the report painted a one-sided picture of Senator Laila de Lima, Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, and former Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. And despite the negative image that some local and foreign media entities portray about the president, Cayetano emphasized that Duterte continues to enjoy the trust and support of the Filipino people. Malacanang stressed the need to hold a joint exploration for oil and gas reserves at the West Philippine Sea to solve the continued rise in fuel prices. This as world crude prices hit above $80 per barrel. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque expressed hope that the joint exploration deal will be finally signed during Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit in Manila. Roque described the joint exploration as the most important agreement that the Philippines and China can achieve to reduce dependence on imported oil. Xi is set to visit the Philippines in November as a follow-up to the high-level economic meetings conducted by the two countries in Beijing. China is reportedly willing to enter a 60-40 exploration deal in favor of the Philippines. Roque meanwhile said if world crude prices will stay above $80 per barrel for 3 months in a row, the excise taxes on fuel might be suspended under the train law. This is one of the measures of the government to lower prices of food and other commodities. The Philippine National Police is joining the campaign against rice hoarders as part of the efforts to bring down the price of rice in the market. Benj Bondoc has the story.
The Philippine National Police is continuously working with government agencies in its crackdown against suspected rice hoarders. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde says they are in close coordination with the Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Agriculture, and National Food Authority. He says all concerned agencies have continuous monitoring on rice hoarders as ordered by the Office of the President. Earlier, President Rodrigo Duterte ordered the PNP to inspect the warehouses of the suspected rice hoarders. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said Duterte has actually issued the same order not only to the PNP but also to Interior Secretary Eduardo Año. Roque clarified that there was no rice shortage in the country and assured that the supply will be sustained with the arrival of additional imported rice this year. Roque said some rice traders have been creating an artificial shortage to jack up the prices of rice in the country. Roque said the decision of the NFA Council to allow private rice dealers to import beyond the minimum access volume or MAV would also stabilize the prices and supply of the staple. The Philippines is allowed by the World Trade Organization to import rice with an MAV of 800,000 metric tons per year. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
At least 6 members of President Rodrigo Duterte's cabinet may file their certificates of candidacy for the May 13, 2019 elections. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque disclosed this as the deadline for filing of COCs from October 11 to 17 is fast approaching. Roque did not name names but said there will be 3 cabinet officials running for national posts and another 3 running for local posts. Roque brushed aside questions on whether he would run for a national post, saying he has yet to speak with the president and make up his mind. He insisted that should he seek a seat in the Senate, anyone could easily replace him as presidential spokesperson. Senator Coco Pimentel, president of the PDP Laban, says the party is considering Roque, presidential aide Bongo, presidential advisor on political affairs Francis Tolentino, and communications assistant secretary Mocha Uson for its 2019 senatorial slate. Still to come, the Department of Trade and Industry encourages retailers to import their own stocks of rice and sugar. The DNR looks into the proposed temporary closure of Mararison Island in Culasi, Antique. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Next on The Presser, panuorin sina Chairman Dante Jimenez at Ginoong John Paul Leo Rania ng Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission sa kanilang pagtalakay kung ano-ano ang mga hakbang na ginagawa ngayon ng Duterte administration upang mapuksa ang mga katiwalian sa lahat ng sangay ng pamahalaan. Live ang talakayan mula alas 10 ng umaga hanggang alas 3 ng hapon ngayong Oktubre 4, 2018. Dito lang sa The Presser. Abangan!
The Red October plot is allegedly meant to force President Rodrigo Duterte to declare nationwide martial law, leading him into a political death trap that would cause his ouster. AFP Chief of Staff General Carlito Galvez Jr. said the Communist Party of the Philippines aims to coerce the president into establishing a revolutionary government. Galvez said part of the communist plot is to mobilize and agitate the student and labor sectors by using issues like inflation and depicting a government that will resort to dictatorship and tyranny. The AFP chief said the CBP-NPA will simultaneously conduct protests as well as tactical offensives in the countryside. Galvez, meanwhile, cleared Senators Antonio Trillanes and Francis Pangilinan from the ouster plot. He noted that the CBP-NPA intends to have a coalition with the opposition. For his part, Trillanes said his group Magdala would not forge a coalition with the communists. On the other hand, Pangilinan said while the communists seek to forge a coalition with the opposition, the Liberal Party has no desire to oust Duterte. To lower prices and maintain enough supply in the market, the Department of Trade and Industry plans to allow retailers to import their own stocks of rice and sugar. Miguel Hill tells us more.
Retailers may soon be permitted to directly import rice and sugar, but retail prices will be set by the government. Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez said they propose to have a price-setting approach that will allow importation only if retailers or importers can guarantee to stabilize the price of rice at 38 pesos per kilo and sugar at 50 pesos per kilo. Lopez added that import permits can be provided to the retailers or importers for specific volumes per period. He clarified that importers will be paying tariffs, which goes to government's coffers and also protects local farmers. The DTI wants to partner with major supermarkets in the country for this initiative. Aside from supermarkets, imported rice and sugar with fixed prices will be sold at DTI's Suki outlets and the Department of Agriculture's Malasakit stores. Lopez hopes this is one quick solution while awaiting rice tariffication. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
The country can still achieve a 6.4% level GDP growth this year despite the high inflation rate and external developments affecting the economy. Sun Life of Canada Philippines Chief Investment Officer Michael Enriquez said 6.4% is lower than the government's 7 to 8% target, but still among the highest in the region. He said the 6.4% output represents strong growth compared to the United States, which only grew by 4.2% in the second quarter of 2018. In the first half of the year, the local economy grew by 6.3%. Enriquez said the government's growth target is attainable as they build infrastructure through the Build program. Enriquez, meanwhile, forecasts inflation to average 4.1% next year. He attributed his lower inflation forecast for next year to the expected approval of the rice tariffication measure and the normalization of world oil prices. Another island is following Boracay's queue of closing down for cleanup and rehabilitation. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources are in talks with local officials and tourism stakeholders on the proposed temporary closure of Mararisan Island in Culasi, Antique. Governor Rodora Cadiao said the plan to temporarily close the island to give way to the much-needed cleanup on October 4, Thursday. This will also give motorboats plying the Lipata port to Mararisan route to work on their registration with the Maritime Industry Authority. The governor said Mararisan is an alternate tourist destination for those who could not go to Boracay, which will limit the number of visitors when it reopens on October 26. Culasi Mayor Jose Jeffrey Lumugdang, however, denied that the sanitation in the island was neglected because they have a solid waste management program in the White Sand Island. He also questioned why Mararisan Island is being singled out for temporary closure. Local officials and residents in Bataan joined hands in the coastal cleanup of Manila Bay in Orani Town on Tuesday. Hundreds of volunteers helped in the cleanup as they picked up and collected sacks of garbage from the shore. Senator Cynthia Villar was present in the activity where she called on the people and concerned agencies to fulfill their responsibility in cleaning up Manila Bay. Villar described Manila Bay as 5 times dirtier now than 10 years ago, back when the Supreme Court issued a mandamus ordering the bay's rehabilitation. The senator attributed Manila Bay's pollution to the absence of toilets and estimated 7 million families residing around the bay, half of whom are in Metro Manila. She also blamed the dumping of plastic waste in the sea by local companies. Villar, meanwhile, distributed to Orani fishermen various livelihood implements, including fiberglass boats, nets, marine engines, bangus and milkfish fingerlings, solar lamps, and life vests. Up next, the Presidential Communications Operations Office vows support for local journalists in Capiz. 23 LGUs in the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao received the DILG seal of good local governance. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Sigit kumulang 400,000 marinong Pilipino sa buong mundo, mahigit 100,000 rito ang mga Pilipino na kasalukuyang nagbibigay serbisyo sa mga barko ng mga bansang miyembro ng European Union. Nasa 40,000 naman rito ang mga Pilipinong nagmamando sa barko na tinatawag na mga marine officers. Ang mga Filipino marine officers na ito ay nagpapasok sa bansa ng bilyong-bilyong piso taon-taon na isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit pangsyam ang sektor ng pagmamarino sa may pinakamalaking naiaambag sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Mahalaga ang pagpapanatili ng kalidad ng serbisyo para masiguro ang patuloy na pag-unlad ng isang industriya. Kaya naman nagtalaga ang European Commission ng isang ahensya na magbabantay sa mga bansang nagsusupply ng mga marine officers sa mga EU flag vessels. Ito ay ang European Maritime Safety Agency o mas kilala bilang EMSA. Layunin ng EMSA na siguruhing sinusunod ng mga member countries ang mga pamantayan para sa pag-aaral, pagsasanay at pagsisertipika ng mga marino bago sila hayaang maglayag at magbigay serbisyo sa mundo. Sa ilalim ni Marina Administrator Gray Leonardo Guerrero, muling binigyan diin ng Marina ang pangako nitong pagsunod sa pamantayan ng STCW o ang Standards of Training, Certification, and Watchkeeping of Seafarers. Sinimulan ito ng Marina sa pakikipagkasundo sa Commission on Higher Education o CHED, partikular sa masusing pangangasiwa sa mga maritime training centers and higher education institutions sa bansa. Nagtutulong na rin ang dalawang ahensya sa pagpapabuti ng educational curriculum na ibinibigay sa mga nais maging marino. Sinusuri na rin ngayon ng Marina ang proseso ng pagsisertipika sa mga marinong Pilipino, partikular sa kanilang kaalaman hinggil sa mga kinakailangang pagsasanay sa ilalim ng STCW Convention. Katuwang na rin ngayon ng Marina ang Philippine Coast Guard sa pagpapanatili naman ng kalidad ng shipboard training para sa mga kadeteng sakay ng mga domestic ships. Higit pa rito ang mga nakalatag na aksyon ng Marina, lalo pat naglabas na si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ng isang executive order na nagpapatibay ng otoridad ng ahensya bilang Single Maritime Administration, partikular sa implementasyon ng 1978 STCW Convention. Masusi at masinsinan ang pagtatrabaho ng Marina para masigurong matutugunan ang mga audit findings ng EMSA. Ito'y para patuloy na kilalanin ng mga STCW certificates ng ating mga marine officers at patuloy na makapagpadala ang Pilipinas ng mga marinong magmamando sa mga EU flag vessels ngayon at sa mga susunod pang henerasyon.
Presidential Communications Operations Office Secretary Martin Andanar has vowed to support the local media in Capiz Province. Andanar made this commitment as he graced a Tapas Annual and Religious Fiesta 2018 in Tapas, Capiz on Sunday. The Communications Secretary talked to some members of the local media and assured them that PCOO is ready to help them to the best of its capacity. In 2016, President Duterte created the Presidential Task Force on Media Security, which is tasked to address the media killings and other media-related cases in the country. Andanar, meanwhile, rallied town officials and residents to continue supporting the Duterte administration's campaign against illegal drugs, corruption, and criminality. Mayor Roberto Palomar expressed hope that Duterte would recognize the town's progress and provide resources to help improve the lives of their residents. A total of 23 provincial, city, and municipal local government units in the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao were conferred with 2018 Seal of Good Local Governance. The awardees are from the provinces of Basilan, Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi. With the latest feat, ARMM now ranks 5th in the country in terms of the number of SGLG awardees. The region also has the most number of passers among Mindanao regions. ARMM Governor Mujib Hataman, however, reminded that employees should work hard not only for recognition from the national government, but for the sake of providing public service. DILG-ARMM Secretary Nur Hafizullah Abdullah praised Hataman for ensuring that the LGUs had every opportunity to showcase their excellence. He also noted that the DILG-ARMM has consistently worked on its good governance targets since October last year. Dozens of Arnis athletes who will be chosen to represent the country for the Philippines hosted 2019 Southeast Asian Games will have their 6 months training in Baguio City. Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri, president of the Philippine Eskrima, Cali and Arnis Association of the Philippines, said he was impressed with the performance of the Arnis athletes from Baguio and Benguet in the recently concluded Batang Pinoy 2018. City Information Officer Dexter C. said the senator has seen the suitability of this place as a venue for the conduct of high-altitude training for the country's athletes. The Philippine Sports Commission has given the two localities 18 million pesos worth of sports equipment for the continuous enhancement of their respective sports development programs. The PSC also donated a total of 2,500 sleeping mats for the young delegates who were locked down in billeting schools during the recent onslaught of Typhoon Ampong. The Mascara Festival in Bacolod City is happening in a few days, and to welcome visitors is the aptly themed Bacolod Welcome Park, which is expected to end construction this month. Maricor Zapata has the story.
The Bacolod Welcome Park will be up in time for the highlights of the 39th Mascara Festival. The welcome marker is being constructed by property giant Mega World on the boundary of the cities of Bacolod and Talisay in Negros Occidental. Harold Brian Geronimo, Senior Assistant Vice President for Public Relations and Media Affairs of Mega World, said the structure will be completed by October 15. The Welcome Park, which will greet both incoming and outgoing visitors, will have as its centerpiece a 7.2-meter marker featuring colorful masks to light up at night. Geronimo said the Bacolod Welcome Park will be inaugurated after the Mascara Festival, but tourists will be able to see the marker during the festival highlights. The 2018 Mascara Festival will be held from October 8 to 28, with highlights set on October 26 to 28. Last June 18, Bacolod Mayor Evelio Leonardia and Mega World Senior Vice President Jericho Go announced the mascara-themed design of the Bacolod Welcome Park on the 80th Charter Day celebration of the city. Go said the project is a milestone for Mega World. It's the first time the company builds a city's official welcome marker similar to the one in Las Vegas. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories. Assistant Secretary Mocha Uzon of the Presidential Communications Operations Office resigns from her post while Malacanang extends its gratitude for her support to the Duterte administration. Malacanang is confident the joint exploration deal with China will solve the country's problem with rising oil prices. 6 cabinet members in the Duterte administration are reportedly planning to run in the 2019 elections, and the DNR looks into the proposed temporary closure of Maririsan Island in Culasi, Antique. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Good day.